Force, Luke.
Sometimes truth isn't good enough.
I feel the need for speed.
Ray, when someone asks you if you're a god, you say yes!
Because it's their time. Their time. Up there. Down here, it's our time. It's our time down here.
All right, well, we are back from my favorite part of the week. I love Wednesdays because Wednesdays is FrostCast. And FrostCast means I bring Kingsley in and we talk about all the important stories of the day. We're going to solve some world hunger. We've probably got a cure for a couple of terminal diseases. The whole war everywhere else, we're going to take care of that. Everybody's going to be happy, chill. We're going to get along. And it's going to go pretty well until I say something foolish about the headline topic, I'm sure, which is going to be Alien Earth this week. Derp, you haven't been here in a minute. Bro, you were here like a week ago. You were here last time we were here, weren't you? And if you weren't, welcome back. We appreciate
you. I wasn't here last week.
I thought you were, but there were like 1,000 people here last week. It was tough for a bunch of amateurs to keep up with what was going on. And in light of that, if you're coming back for this week after last week's thrilling discussion on aliens, buckle up. We're going to talk about Alien Earth a lot today. They dropped 2 episodes on us yesterday, but before we get rolling, I'm going to do a bit of housekeeping and say thank you everybody for pushing us over 500. We are rapidly approaching 600 subscribers, which means we are eligible to open up things like memberships and all that other cool stuff we'll be getting on that. If you're new here and want to hang out and chat, please feel free to lurk. But if you'd like to chat, anybody can tell you we read out comments all the time. So drop us a like, and that'll definitely mean that I read your comment. No, I'm just kidding. We're going to read them anyway. And, consider subscribing to the channel so we can continue to hang out on Wednesday nights, 9 o'clock. So they did 2 episodes. I wanted to go live last night, dude. I had the itch, but I knew it was past your bedtime, so we couldn't do it.
Yes,
I was a little bummed. What do you think? Let's just jump right into Alien Earth, dude. We're not going to talk about the franchise. Let's just talk about the show. That's why folks are here. I haven't seen that image, and I like that one.
That is an awesome image. That's a killer image right there.
Yeah, the mouth and the earth in there. I like
Oracle delivering gold tonight.
I don't know. Maybe she made that one because I see some fan-isms there in that title. You got the glowing I, the glowing N, and the glowing R.
Yeah.
There may be some AI play at work here, some illicit copy and pasting. I don't know. But I'm not here to judge video forensics. That's more of your speed, dude. So did you watch these last night or did you stall until today?
I stalled until today.
Of course you did. That's why we didn't go live.
And I was literally in bed when you were texting me about, have you watched them yet? Like, no.
Yeah. There we are. Tinny, that's exactly my point. The R glows in the intro. There you go. Wait, our intro? It's supposed to glow. Or the intro to Alien.
Intro to Alien. When the way
R
it
in
comes
Aliens.
in.
There's no
Earth. There's an R in Earth.
Shut up. I don't know nothing about that. So you watched them both today. So as usual, fresh in your mind, we got an early vote. Oh, we should do a poll. Polls. Get a poll going. Who liked Alien Earth? And it could be that simple. Yay or nay. Because we're late on the poll again. We totally forgot.
We do need to apologize to Oracle. This is stuff we probably should have gave her earlier today. Oops. So sorry to the Oracle for these last minute changes, but that's how live shows go sometimes. You're on ice skates.
Especially when the only R that I'm aware of are the 2 of them that are in Adderall, because I probably need some to remember these things. At my age, it's getting difficult. But you watched them today. I watched them last night. I watched it with the notepad out, or scribbling as I went, little odds and ends, things and that, things I liked, things I didn't like. Where are you coming down on the poll? You can have the inaugural vote in case the poll doesn't officially go up and people can just tell us in the chat. Where are you at with this show?
The poll is up. I like to say the poll is active.
Nice. I don't get to see it on my side. That's
once again, pulling gold.
Nice.
All right. So going into the show, I had no expectations. So it's
because you're not a fan of the franchise.
Yeah, you keep saying that. I'm just not deep in the lore of the franchise. Let's put it that way.
Fair point.
But going into the show, I had no expectations. Wanted to just see what it was about. Like we talked about last time, what are they going to do with it? Is it an alternative timeline? Is it a standalone show? Or is it another type of, is it supposed to be within the Alien timeline? And from what it looks like, this actually takes place before the first movie, 2 years before, actually.
Mm-hmm.
So take that as what you will. I think the xenomorph moving was great. The crew was different than we've seen in an alien movie before, especially when you wake up from cryo and just, light one up real quick. And he's the doctor, by the way.
Yeah.
But I mean,
I was getting old school vibes from that. That was one of my favorite earlier parts of seeing that crew. I'm like, oh, people could smoke again in 2120 and it's okay. Like, okay.
Well, I mean, it goes with his heritage too. I mean, he looked Middle Eastern, and Middle Easterns they do smoke a lot.
Percentage.
Yeah,
that's for sure. Yeah,
so
it's not a Western thing of canceling smoking everywhere. I mean, it is a Western thing, canceling smoking everywhere, pretty much. True.
But overall, I think the show was pretty good. Had some new concepts. They had a new corporation built, the Fifth Corporation, that run the galaxy, the fastest trillionaire ever.
Let's not talk about fake Zuckerberg just yet. Or fake Jesse Eisenberg is probably a better.
Yeah,
not Jesse Eisenberg.
He gave me Jesse Eisenberg vibes.
Yeah, like Luther vibes, right?
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah,
but
it was a lot of the same.
It was I mean, it was a good show. I enjoyed it. It was fun. I had a couple nitpicks, which we'll talk about here in a little bit, but of course, we'll see.
True. And that's actually one of the things that I'll be getting into, Pape. Definitely, the intro episode 1 is a huge homage to the first film. There's a lot of homage going on in both episodes, and for me, it walks right up to the line where, okay, we get it. You've paid your respects. Now you can continue doing your own thing. I don't need you to go overboard all the way into just recreating things. That was a big complaint I had with Romulus. Like, it felt like everything they were doing on their own was okay, and then they tiptoed right over the line into, you didn't need to go back to the well. But we're not talking about Romulus today, right? We're going to keep it on Alien Earth. I got to keep myself locked into Alien Earth. There we go. I also liked both of the episodes for about an hour. Then I started thinking, and I said to myself, if we're going to be fair, because you're always pushing us not to do rage bait and to be as objective as we can be and all that happy horse shit that I like, because I'd like to get upset about some things more often, but that's...
You didn't get upset about it. I just want you not being upset before you get to the object.
And that's a challenge. That's a challenge when pattern recognition is a thing. But in the interest of being fair, I'm applying from now on what I call the fire in space standard to everything we watch. And
Okay.
I can see you dying a little inside already.
Yes.
I see it.
It shows on the ban list for a reason.
I've chiseled away another little bit of your soul, and I've just fed it right to the incinerator. You're just going to have to deal with it, right? There's a lot of cool stuff to look at in this show.
Yeah.
But a lot of the plot doesn't hold up to scrutiny if you just a little. And I'm not talking, because I saw some people nitpicking things like you would think, right? Like the part in the beginning where, and with spoilers, everybody, you've been warned. I don't know if we have to do the thing with the...
Let's do the thing.
Let's do the thing.
Do the thing.
Am I doing the thing, or is she? Okay. Y'all been warned. Go watch Alien Earth on Hulu. The first 2 episodes. Come back. We're going to be here for a while. The part after she gets uploaded into her new body. Okay. We'll talk about the actual formatics of the show in a second. I just want to get this out. And she jumps down from the cliff ledge, and she kind of she hits the beach. Like, people are nitpicking that, she sank in the sand like an inch, like Legolas would have, and that wouldn't work because she's a robot, she's heavy, there should be a big depression, blah, 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 blah. People are nitpicking that. I'm not going to nitpick that. I think that's kind of dumb. I'm more like, when we're talking about where they send these kids, because they're kids on mission as search and rescue to a unique environment that they're not trained to do, that they don't have any insight into doing. They don't bring any necessary gear to do it. Like that kind of, like the stuff that we would literally hold any other military or procedural thing on that level. We would call them out for those kind of things. And I think I got so caught up in returning to the world of xenomorphs that when we get these people to this crash site and they're checking shit out and they got new bugs that are gross, like, dude, don't get me started on that. We'll get to those. I'm watching them all walk around, and it's literally them walking through hallways to do what? to do things that they're not trained to do. Like they've already been described as being these, what's the word I'm looking for? Like they're invaluable assets to the Prodigy Corporation. These 6 kids, 7 kids, however many there are, right? And we're just sending them in to a field test with no like closed environment testing for what they do. And we know that they haven't had that because when they get there, they respond like they haven't had that. So it's not even like I could say they got Matrix uploaded, they jacked in and they got tactical training on the way while they were in the dropship. Like, no, like they literally
I know CPR.
I know Kung Fu. You know what I mean? Like, no, they didn't do any of that. So, I mean, there's a lot of those things that you can claw apart easily. Another one that stands out is like the search and rescue team are trying to take down this trying to clear this building that's the size of like Mega City 1 from Dread, but there's like 10 of them, thousands of apartments. They have no gear. They have their guns, no gear, no first aid kits. They got one guy's a medic, no climbing gear, nothing, right? And they're jumping through broken stairwells to get to other parts of the building that might collapse. And when they get there, they find an apartment that has people having a party that didn't know the Star Destroyer crashed into their building. I'm sorry. Like there's if we're gonna razz on fire in space, these things need to be brought up.
Because you would have felt the earthquake.
Dude, you'd have felt the ship rattling the fucking atmosphere on the way into your building. Like everybody underneath that ship as it flew over them should have died. And that was like 10 city blocks away.
Yeah.
But again, I got caught up in the atmosphere and the aesthetic, and I think there's a lot of questions that I have about this show, about what it means to be a synth or a hybrid or a cyborg, and how those 3 things are going to play together on top of the mystery of how they get. And I think our containment theory was correct, by the way. I think that's how we get out of this without anybody knowing for 150 years or whatever. So I think this whole show is going to be in this building. That's kind of where I'm thinking. Pape says the synthetics of tools are being used as such. The way they're treated reflects the overall type of person Kid Trillionaire is. Fact. True. But I think Kid Trillionaire also mentioned that he knows they're expensive and don't break them. So I don't think he's trying to throw things away or that he's trying to break his toys on purpose. He's a jackass, don't get me wrong, as evidenced by the video call and holding the iPad with your feet. I wanted to punch that dude square in the dick button right when that happened. I'm like, I hope he drops the thing on his face. Dude, why 500 years in the future are iPads bigger again? What happened?
Eyesight got worse. Eyesight got worse again.
Is that what happened? Like all of a sudden tablets are now the size of like the boxes you used to get shirts in for Christmas as a kid that would piss you off. Like that's what happened with their garment boxes now.
Yeah. I think Teeny brought up a good point in the last comment. Why we're going. He was talking about, here it is. It takes they can control the kids and limits their free will because one, they can't go home, and you can see that they kind of do a reward system with them. Like she can go through the cameras and stuff, and she gets a little bit more rewards the more she does. And I think that's going to go with the kids. The thing that they don't take into account is that these kids, they're just kids. They don't have the mental capacity to do stuff. They're given a supercomputer brain in this new synthetic body that they have that is pretty much indestructible. And that's why they think it is. We know Bishop is in fact not, and was handled pretty easily. Yep. So I think one of them's in for a rude awakening soon. Yeah, because I mean, if we remember the original Alien movie, it came out of a synth. No, it came out of the captain. He wasn't a synth. It blew his chest open on the table in Alien. He was human. I thought they had a xenomorph that came out of a synth. No. The in the original movie, it was the captain who got not the captain. It was the second in command that got chest burst on the kitchen table while they were eating dinner, and it was their doctor who was the synth or the cyborg or whatever back then who got his head taken off in the pipe. Okay. Aliens don't do the chest bursting thing through synths. True, but in the end of it, it's just money. If they die, they can always make more. True, and Kid, whatever is evil is indicated by the apple scene. Fact, 100% he is. I think the interesting thing that they layered into the kids, that Kingsley was probably just about to talk to, is they reasoned that only kids could be uploaded because their minds are more malleable, and adult minds are too stiff, so they couldn't make the transition You have less gray matter as you get older.
Everything's still elastic, you know what I mean? So you can stretch and you can handle a big change like
they
that.
have a rock hard brain instead of a wet soft brain.
No one's uploading us anytime soon, which is disappointing because it seems like a good time.
Which brings up a good point. Like, would you want your consciousness updated? Because what I was thinking
100%.
is if you change your data from one hard drive to another hard drive, it's still your data, but is it just a different hard drive? If they upload your brain, your memories, and your thoughts, there's no way they could transfer your personality. They would have your memories and the way you think, but they wouldn't have your personality. So would it really be you, or would it just be a computer with your knowledge base?
Acting like you. And that's a great question. And I'll do a quick Star Trek tie-in. That's like the thing with transporters in Star Trek, is that every time you get transported, it's not actually you that reappears on the other side.
Yeah,
it's a molecular recopy of you that has all the things you just said. So are you a billionth of a percent different every time? Maybe. I don't know. I think that's one of the nifty questions that I would love to see that. I would love to see them tackle that in this show. But based on the pacing and what they've done in 25% of their runtime already, I think we're done with the development. I think we got what we got, and now they're just in the middle of the shit now.
Yeah.
And I would have wanted it to be a little bit more Bradbury about things and spend some time talking about that kind of stuff.
Which they still might.
He is a cyborg straight up.
Yeah, he's a cyborg.
He's all Borg. He's all machine.
Because he had the connection on his body.
And the kids do not.
And the way he's straight like cold-hearted.
He's like David. He's like David from Prometheus. As much as I loathe referencing Prometheus and Covenant, it's the quickest thing to get people to understand like what a cyborg would be.
Even though Michael Fassbender killed that role.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, but again, I don't like either of those movies, but that's neither here nor there. So I think there's a lot of heavy questions that they could have got into early with that whole like consciousness, souls, the nature of personality. I think they glazed and glossed right over a bunch of that really quick. And I'm like, I don't know. I kind of wanted to see like that girl's dad not want her to do it, or her brother not to go through with the procedure, and just not have it be, oh, you're already here. Like, what is there a human cost? Oh, you can't go home. What's the reaction? What do you mean my daughter can't go home? Like, I think there was opportunity for character conflict there. And through 2 episodes, really the only conflict I have so far is her spying on her brother, finding him, and then we're good. Because like, no, there hasn't really been anything hit the fan yet, conflict-wise between people.
No,
and I'm waiting on that.
No, but the xenomorph already has a high body count.
Oh yeah, dude, crazy. And dude, the Xenos, they're not messing around in this show. They're there to rip you to pieces, rated R movie style, and F you up. The gore effects, top effing notch. Disgusting. Tindy says they kept the genders light, could have gone well. Oh, dude, and there were a lot of people that were talking about that and talking about a potential for like a trans allegory with, changing who you are and being someone else, and her changing her name from Marcy to Wendy as an example of like moving on and not wanting to be dead name later if somebody calls her Marcy. I'm not gonna fly that red flag yet until they give me something.
I don't think she chose that name. I think he chose.
You think they gave it to her?
I think they gave it to her because he's keeping the whole Peter Pan theme going.
Right. Oh, dude, can we talk about the Peter Pan stuff, dude?
Yeah, because the Neverland Island.
Dude, I mean, can we talk about how it's I mean, there's getting punched in the nose, and then there's getting punched in the nose, and this is on the nose. Like, I get it. You're playing them the cartoon. I get it. You name the research facility Neverland. I get it. Her name is Wendy. I get it. 3 of the other kids' names at a minimum are like Toodles, Smee, and somebody. I'm like, okay, like it's enough.
There's probably Michael and Peter as well.
Was there a Michael and a Peter? I mean, that's what I mean. Like it's a lot.
I remember them bringing up 3 names.
I remember Toodles and Smee and Wendy. Those are the 3 I remember off the top of my head. And that kind of ties in exactly because it's so. If they just played the video like while she was going into the surgery, like for the upload, like okay, subtle enough. I get it. It's thematically what you are. The billionaire is a kid that doesn't want to grow up. This is a little girl that doesn't ever have to grow up now, which kind of throws, or she's instantly grown up. So, but it's a point of contention that I have. I get it. It was just too much. It was very over the top. But that kind of leads me into my maybe you picked it up and I didn't portion. All right. if they did the surgery on this girl, and let's just say she was 12, okay?
Mhm.
All right. And then we see them, they put her into an adult body.
Yep.
We see her talking. I'm trying to, I had this age gap in my head between her and the other kids. Maybe there isn't one. Like, how much time takes place between her getting upload and then them bringing in the next group of kids that they're only like a year older or a year younger? Did I add that up wrong? Because I'm thinking, like, how has enough time not gone by where she hasn't grown up with any kind of maturity since we see her brother is now 10 years older and a fucking medic? Like, how is she still arrested at 12 years old, even though she's been alive for 10 years? Like, I
Her
don't get it.
brother is older than her.
But in the original part of this, only by a few years, which is why he was a little kid watching TV with her while she was a toddler on the floor. So if there's only a few years between them, and now he's a medic in the army or a medic for Prodigy, how, like, her natural progression of being alive should have made her less infantile than she is. And she
is the least infantile out of them. She's just really attached to her brother.
But her response to things like her asking the other dude about do he and his wife have kids, and then getting a giggle out of like the sperm joke and shit like that, like, she should be like 25 years old now or 23 or something. Like, and
I don't think that much time actually, because I mean they're still set in the same year, 2120. It's 95.
Then how is that not a continuity problem for them?
Because he's not 30.
How old do you think the brother is?
He's maybe 22.
You think that's it?
Yeah, you did go in the army at 18.
I mean,
probably even younger in this future gen thing.
Maybe he'd be conscripted in and sign a contract, and maybe that's just I'll have to hang my hat on that for like another time to like look into that.
I was in at 18.
Did I know? But you also didn't look like you were like 30 when you were 18. This guy looks like he's seen some shit. Maybe he has. I don't know. Working for the company kind of sucks.
Hey, being in the army it puts some ages on you.
It does age up a little bit. See, Tinny, I don't know. I don't think they go by their human age or maybe they do because they get treated that way, like ad infinitum. Because when we see them in their even before we see them in the staging area where they get told they're going on mission and nobody grabs any gear, like she takes a paper cutter blade and magnetically clips it to her back. I guess that's a thing. And like the plush stuffed animal. Right.
Like,
but that's some shit kids would do. So I'm like, I get that. Like she got excited, like we're going on an adventure.
I was talking about like her magnetic back. Had they
yeah.
Like it just happens to be magnetic?
I guess so. It's a video game. I don't know. I don't get it. But they're all acting like kids where they're sitting around making like dopey jokes about, being able to die or not die. And one of them's like, if our battery runs out, we just go all, and he makes like the sound effect and goes limp. That's happening to that dude in a little while. Believe that. That's foreshadowing.
Yeah, the xenomorph trying to pierce his power.
Yeah,
his power shell,
kill him dead. So we kind of just jump right into like stuff. So the setup is obviously with all the transcendent stuff. We just talked about all that. The ship is coming back. There's a Weyland-Yutani ship that's been in deep space at like long range. They were far out. They're coming back with specimens they've collected. We get introduced to their crew in a setup that, like Pape mentioned earlier, very reminiscent of the original Alien, which was kind of cool. And it's early on that I'm like, all right, cool. I like what I'm seeing here. You got a diverse cast. They're not all super perfect looking people like other modern movies. Like some of them are just kind of like very normal looking, very average looking. They're bumming around, sitting, getting breakfast, smoking a butt. They give you a bunch of character development on the Asian synth that then dies in the crash that you're never going to see again. And I thought that was going somewhere. So maybe this flashback's coming to their actual voyage back and what went wrong. Because sure as shit, 10 minutes later, they're all dead. All of them, except the captain. And that's a cold-blooded cat, and I like Morrow. I like that character.
He wasn't the captain.
Wasn't he the captain?
No.
Was he the second in command? Oh, he was head of security. Okay. That actually alleviates one of the questions I had. Thank you. Oh, there was an older Asian dude that was the captain, right? Yes. Yeah. Okay. Now I remember. Excellent. But so they give you little character beats with all these people, right? The one girl, the synth is staring at the one girl who's super uncomfortable, and there's another old white guy that's like, listen, if we're already in jeopardy, let's dump the specimen, save the fuel, and get the fuck out of Dodge. And the captain's kind of like, nah, dog, we can't do that. The mission is the mission, specimens of the mission. So there's all these little beats and character points early on. Fuck, gone.
Once again, that was a security.
If Captain, just call him Captain Security then, so I can keep this shit in my head. All right. The ship comes in. They intercut all those little scenes of all those people with how they die. And I mean, it's like it's a frame. It's like blink and you miss it, right? The ship crashes into Mega City 1 tower. Prodigy, because in the future, global, everything is just run by the corpos. And, they have their own first responder teams and this and that, They got to send teams out to go investigate the wreck because they know it's not one of their ships. They know it's Weyland-Yutani, and if Weyland-Yutani is a big dollar entity, we're going to go see what they're all about. We're going to raid their ship because they even have scenes where he's talking with Miss Yutani. Oh, yeah, we got your ship. Oh, no, you can't. Legally, you can't pick that shit up. It's not safe, mind you.
Yeah.
Can't do it. We got to hold up. We got to get your lawyers to talk to my
lawyers. We got to secure the towers, make sure everyone's safe.
Yeah, I'm saying it's scumbag. I like that scene. I hope we get more of Yutani, and I hope she cuts this dude. Like, I seriously hope she cuts this dude somehow. Because I kind of don't like him. And I know she'll be an evil bitch, so it doesn't matter. I don't like her, but I really want her to cut this dude. And that's it. That's the plot. We with the boy genius. We send in these teams to do search and rescue through the spaceship, through the towers to like get people out. And then because search and rescue is going on and the main character, Wendy, has been spying on her brother through the network, she volunteers her unit, or she asks if her unit can go be a part of the thing.
Actually, she asked for herself. What? She asked for herself to go. She didn't ask for the...
Oh, no, she said send us. Oh, no, she said send us. She 100% said send us. We can do this. She said we can do this. Oh, yeah. I'm 100% on that. Because I was like, oh, you're speaking for the other children that are going to die now. Good luck, Lost Boys. Wendy just killed you all. Because that's coming. Right? It takes them 6-7 weeks, like they're taking a sailing ship across the new world to get to wherever they're going, even though they're in like badass drop ships. I don't know why it took so long, but it did.
I did like how they flow.
I like them.
Yeah.
I like the ship porn. It was good. The ships and the design in this were pretty good. Thank you, Pape. Pape had my back on that one. They get there and Justified there. I'm just going to call him Justified. Justified all of a sudden has like a major butthole personality transplant on the way and is no longer like her mentor, caregiver, guide, is now giving her cryptic lectures on how humanity used to be on the food chain, but now it's not, but it is again because we're in space. And then basically orders them into like the most dangerous environment known to man. Okay. It seems consistent, I guess. And that's it. That's the show. They walk around the spaceship.
You can see the frustration on his face dealing with everyone but Wendy. But even Wendy, because she just wants to do her own thing and hang out with her brother. Like she thinks she's on a family picnic.
He literally says, I don't care about that. He literally says, stay on mission. I don't care about that right now. Secure the specimens. And she's like, okay. Hey, you want to come with us? And then Brother Medic, who's already stranded in the building, even though he had a functioning radio and could have called for backup at any time. But
radio was not functioning.
The radio was functioning after he made the jump. He should have just used the damn thing before that. Before he looked up in the ceiling and almost got eaten. Dude, how many times can that guy almost die, by the way?
So
what's the over-under on this guy surviving? I'm sorry. Kirsch is a cyborg.
Yeah.
Because these kids are the first synths they've made.
Yep.
That's kind of, I think that's in the not a prologue to the show, but like that's what they're telling the little girl. She'll be the first to be uploaded. They did the text over at the beginning where it said
the
3 times
cyborg,
synth or hybrid. Oh no, that's right. I'm sorry. He might be a synth. She's a hybrid. She's the first hybrid.
Yeah,
that's the difference.
The hybrid.
Wrong.
Yeah, yes. The hybrid has the
kids
human
the
conscience.
Right. So he might be a synth. He could be like prototype Bishop. That might be possible. I don't know if he is a cyborg or not.
But the security guy of the ship, he's a cyborg. They said that because he had the one clear arm.
Yep. And he said with the cool ass multi-tool. I'm like, why do we discontinue these things? That might have been helpful on LV426. Just throwing that out there.
Yeah.
Welding tool, stabbing things, glue gun. What'd you think of the glue gun?
That was weird. I think if I think what they're doing is that they're experimenting on these to create new weapons, that they found some type of spider creature, and that was what it and they made a synthetic version of whatever that spider shot out to capture its prey.
I like that. I like the idea of that. They learned the hard way. Well, he didn't, but everybody else did. Learn the hard way that it's not going to contain a fully grown Xeno when it wakes up, because I think it stuns it a little bit. I know he had stunned it with the juice first, with the electro gun. Dude, where are those? Where are those fucking things in the future?
Yeah, the medic was like, "Oh, thank you," and he just shoots him.
Dude, which I'm counting. Moro's a badass, so I want him to shit. Dude, hell yeah, because then I wanted to see Xeno acid blood throw down on him and scar him up a little bit. Like, put everybody.
I thought that was going to happen to his face before he closed the.
It was just drool. I thought that, and I was like, it just drooled on him. It wasn't wounded. Now, if it had cut itself breaking into the impact chamber, that would have been dope. Because then, oh fuck, he's confirmed something else.
Because that's when we also saw the first see-through arm of his. That's the first time we saw it.
It was when he turned around.
And I thought maybe that's what happened. Like it's eating him like the whole thing, and like his arms see through. I'm like, oh nope, his face is normal. Yeah. Okay, never mind.
I would have been very okay with him shanking one of them. That would have been cool. I'd have been very okay with that. Yeah, the Xenos are not there to mess around. Dude, every bug on this show is gross as fuck.
Yeah.
You know? But again,
you eat your sandwich in there? That part just grossed me out, watching him eat his sandwich after feeding a bug a dead rat.
No, that's just weird.
Yeah, after putting his hand in there,
it's just weird.
And then he's like, "Oh no, my tuna salad sandwich."
I wouldn't eat my egg salad sandwich while handling like blood samples in a centrifuge either. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just fucking running some lab samples, doing whatever. Oh hey, look, this dude has Hep A. Oh, my tuna sandwich. Like, no, can't do it. Seems a little weird.
No. They have
but the bugs are gross.
For a reason.
The bugs are gross. Eyeball zombie cat thing, gross.
Yeah.
Super ticks, disgusting.
Oh yeah, disgusting. The blood bugs.
I'm just calling them super ticks. You call them whatever you want, but fuck them. I hate them. I'm good.
Huge,
dude, it killed that dude in 2 seconds, and that's because that's typically what happens when you instantly lose 3 pints of blood. You typically die. It's hypovolemic shock, and you're dead.
Up right to his jugular. Yeah. I don't know where the second one hooked up to because it went down his shirt and then started.
I think it got him. I think it got him like in the chest somewhere because it just fat rolled off of him. It reminded me of the dragon from Dungeons and Dragons with the Chris Pine movie, the fat dragon. It just kind of like lazily rolled away. I kind of like that. Got a soft spot for fat bugs, I guess. But they were both gross, dude. Let's talk about the testicle bug. I'm coining that phrase. That is the testicle bug, hanging from the ceiling. How many more fucking groups of people? And I don't care if you're a kid or not. Come across an alien species they don't know and stick their face in the thing that opens up like a cobra crossed with like a fucking Venus flytrap, sticks your face up into it when it's starting to get all precarious.
Yeah.
Before some shit just eat your face. Stop it. Stop writing that trope. It's obnoxious. It has to go away. Make it stop.
As soon as I saw that thing open, I'll be like, nope, I'm done.
Dude, they walked in there with flashlights, no guns, no med packs, no spare parts, no tracking gear, nothing. Not a damn thing, dude.
Well, they didn't know what they were walking into either.
Dude, then you bring everything. Then you bring everything. Hazmat suits, bare minimum. Dude, let's talk about hazmat suits, right?
Okay, first off, they're synths, so they don't need hazmat suits.
To breathe. Exposure is a thing no matter what you're made of. Acid can eat through different kinds of acid, eat through anything. Radiation can eat through all kinds of shit. I'm just throwing that out there as a thing. All right. So they tell us, and this is in my nitpick column, this is kind of a big one. This ship comes down.
Yep.
In 2120, where spacefaring voyages are a thing, there's no early warning system for anybody on the ground. Nobody knows this shit. Like, we know when a helicopter is about to hit a 747 in DC. We know that. We get footage of that when that happens. But in the future, this giant, this Star Destroyer size fucking thing crashes in the middle of a city, not in the desert, the middle of New Siam City, wherever the fuck. Maybe that's in Thailand. I don't know.
That's what I'm thinking. It's Thailand. It had a very Asian vibe,
and it was very beautifully shot. I love that whole shot of it coming down. It was awesome, right? But like, nobody knows the fuck's going on. It crashes down. Exactly, dude. Bad trend they brought from Rome. Exactly. Doing so good too, the first 2/3 of that movie, but I got sidetracked. And King Z hasn't seen it, so I can't comment at length on it. You go watch that shit. You're not a fan. You're not a fan if you haven't seen Romulus. The ship crashes. There's no early warning. Everybody gets there. even like the first unit of like soldiers that go in that are search and rescue, they're trying to clear this fucking giant building with like small groups of 2 per like apartment floor with like it's not like a triple decker. It's huge. And like they literally just go in guns first. Like it just that's the kind of shit that drives me crazy in my sci-fi, because you only need to write that 2 lines different to be like, we don't know what we're getting into, better throw the suits on, and then boom, you throw a suit on, you go. That's it.
Or at least bring them with you. Like
just what I mean.
When I was we would have different mop levels depending on what we thought. Mop 0 is you're carrying it with you.
Exactly. That's what I mean, dude. You send the synth in first, or a cyborg in, he goes over with the tricorder, give it a little scanner, like it's clean, and then you fucking go. And then assholes like me don't sit around on Wednesday nights on FrostCast, thank you for being here, saying, how come they didn't do this? It was a nod from Alien Search 2. But they knew in Aliens, LV-426 already had an atmosphere that could support life without that kind of gear. They weren't receiving any radiological feedback that the reactor had blown at Hadley's Hope before they got there. You know what I mean? So it's more akin to like what they did in Prometheus and Covenant to me. Like you got to an unknown situation completely because they told you, hey, we don't know anything about this ship. We don't know if it's an alien ship. I don't know how they didn't. They had no transponders in the future either. I don't know. Maybe they do. They completely underestimated what Weyland Yutani was doing out there. Kirsch figured it out only after death. Dude, what should have been the first fucking thing they did? Like, the first soldiers on the ground should have had a synth in that unit that jacked into the mainframe or whatever they want to call it on the ship. Man, like, science vessel, Weyland Yutani, cargo unsecured, no radiation detected, done. And then I don't have to be a dick for 10 minutes on the internet. That's all I needed. That's all I needed.
Wasn't at first they reported that all the specimens were in their cage? Wasn't Morrow talking to Mother about that the specimens were secure, notify Weyland Yutani? But I don't think the Prodigy guys did. No, not the Prodigy
they'd already
guys.
Seen, and I think he said Morrow said fugitive at one point. Like I think he's aware that some of them were out, and that's why he went. That's why he went going looking for it. That's when he stumbled across the 2 dudes that got the super ticks. If I remember the order.
Yeah, and then he handcuffs them, and he's like, "Come on, brother." He's like, "I'm not your brother."
I'm not your brother. I'm like, okay, and that's why you have the backup knife on your waistband that you can get your hands to instead of just the one in your boot. No, Morrow told that's what I mean. Like I think that was he knew that, and that's why he went out to go find them and secure them, because that was the mission. Like the specimen preservation was the entire mission. So that's what I mean, dude. It was exactly. It was ordered to secure assets. Exactly.
So what if they were going to weaponize the xenomorphs? If you could control a xenomorph. I
mean, I'm over that as a trope because I feel like we've seen that done in Jurassic Park 3 times already. And I'm sure that's a plot line that's been done in like an Alien Universe book or comic. Like some asshole always thinks that's why Burke wanted them in the first place for the bioweapons division. Like that was the point. Whether or not he wanted them for what they can do, or because of the acid blood or regeneration or whatever. Like that's always in there. I hope that doesn't come up in this show. I don't want that to be a focal subplot. Burke was trying to sell him to the weapons division and make a name for himself. Exactly. He specifically says bioweapons. I really hope they avoid that. It's just as dumb as thinking that raptors would be useful in a combat scenario. Like 8-leg Xenos are easily machine gunnable. We've seen that done.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I mean, you literally need overwhelming numbers, like on a level of like AVP, where like predators are detonating nukes on the top of like Aztec temples to destroy them all. Otherwise, guns will do. Guns will do just fine. But let me ask you this. So what is for this show going forward, right? Do you think this whole thing gets wrapped up and we literally only see these dickweeds in the tower and in the ship? Or do you think there's a point where they extract from these things and we go back to Neverland research? Because we keep seeing that dude pressure washing that wall. That's got to be something. The hole in the wall looked like an acid scorch mark or something.
Yeah.
But like, did Prodigy already have one? I don't know. Are we going to see more of the original crew shot out of order? Kind of like how Weapons just did, where you get a little bit of this over here, and then it goes back to what happened the day before so we can see what went wrong on their mission. I honestly don't think we're going back to them. I think they're toast.
I think
where do you think we're going?
I think we're going to see some video of them and things that happen. Like they're going to go through and watch the video of what happened, and then they start understanding what they're up against. Then that's going to rally them to start the extermination squad to go take out the xenomorph, while the cyborg who wants to keep them intact is going to battle them to keep his, because he wants to get paid.
Alive.
Yeah.
That works too, and there's obviously an opportunity here for more Xenos because how many eggs are in that one scene? Like 6.
It's either 5 or 6. Yeah,
it's like about a half dozen, give or take, right? And that's assuming that's the only lab that has those specimens in it. You know what I mean? And of course, if I remember my alien biology, is it not possible? Because it must be somewhere in the line that a face hugger could impregnate a person that winds up spawning a queen. I mean, surely that has to be how some of that works, right?
Yeah, one of them has to spawn a queen because I think that's the only eggs you would have are those 5,
right?
Unless a queen is born.
That's what I'm saying. Unless, I mean, and they don't have to go that route. I'm just saying that could be a whole big cliffhanger at the end of the season. One, be like, oh shit,
goes egg, face hugger, impregnate the person, pop out the chest, xenomorph. Right.
And I know the comics have done some weird shit over the years with there's other things that come up like random mutations and things. Like in some of the comics, there's an alien king. There's a Praetorian guard, which is bigger than a standard warrior. It's got a different crown, like a more bony prominence like the queen. So there's all kinds of other shit. I'd love to see them bring in some of those designs. That'd be kind of cool to see them, especially if they do them practically. So I thought the CGI on the Xenos was a little wonky, especially that slow-mo dive at the end that grabs Hermit to take him off the side of the land.
I thought it was actually pretty good. Watching it,
did you like that?
It stayed within color. It worked. The movement was more natural. I think what threw it off was just that it was in slow motion. I think that's what really threw it off. I think the actual movement itself looked real.
I thought the dive inside the rich guy's apartment from the upper level looked pretty good. It broke through like a glass, like walkway balustrade or something that shattered down. The one in the industrial side that grabbed Herman at the end looked a little wonky to me. I'm like, it looks kind of rubbery, but the color in the apartment was good. It was all gold, yellow crusted because of the bouginess of what was going on in there. That looked pretty good, dude. That effect of that dude getting ripped in half and crawling away, that was disgusting.
Yeah,
that was awesome. I couldn't believe they threw that in the show.
No,
could not believe it.
The one that got me was the security team that took the security guy into custody, and then it broke through, and like they were all gone within seconds. Like dude, 4 or 5 of them were just gone in seconds.
Special gore note to the one that got the Minnie Mouth to the face, just like blew his fucking entire face in,
and then lifted him up with it,
and like shook them all around like my dog with a chew toy. I'm like, dude, that's kind of savage. Nicely done, Hulu. Nicely done, because I was not expecting that level of the red stuff. It was pretty bad. It came up a little disappointing in the beginning though, when it was whatever Xeno was loose on the ship chased the whatever, I think her name was Zavari, to Mother's door, the one that basically got killed outside the impact room, and she's just kind of like tapping on the glass like, let me in, and I'm like, panic, emote, like the thing's behind you, you're gonna die. You know what I mean? Like, let's see. So, and then it does the same thing. It knocks her down. It's a bunch of quick cuts and like scratching and clawing. And
the coldest parts, he stood up, he looked at her, and then welded the door shut. Like, you're not getting in.
What are you doing? I'm like, no. Bang on the door. Shoot the window out. Like, do something. The Xeno is something for her. Dude, it's 3 hit and runs. He got shot with the electro gun. He almost flubbed the jump across the landing. The AI bot told him, no, you have to finish your contract. I'm like, dude, how many close encounters do you need here? You know? And it's gonna be something bullshit too that happens. Like, he's gonna be hit by a car in front of Wendy, and that's gonna be what kills him. It's gonna be some weird shit like that. You survived all this shit to get Final Destination at the end by the big sign. Just gonna swing in and fucking blast.
It's gonna be the one they forgot about. Because I believe there are 2.
I'm trying to think if there's,
because you had the one that was up on there was the one on the floor that he captured, and it was still up there because it went up. Then there was one still in the ship guarding the eggs.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think there are 2 because I don't think it couldn't have moved through the very different places.
I think one of them might be a small queen. because I think that's where they got the eggs from. Like that's how they laid the eggs.
I mean, that kind of stands to reason, because you would think that if like the science team collected the eggs, they wouldn't just be on the floor like in a circle, like they'd be in stasis.
And,
like
it was near where he was in the mother. It was up there is where the eggs were, towards the front of the ship.
The egg chamber was by the forward section where Mother was. I didn't make that connection.
Yeah, okay. I saw the what it looked like, and it was the white that was all dingy. The light was still kind of flickering.
Would that be the one that busted out of cryo? Probably. I mean, I think it would have to, because that's the one the initial team was tracking the blood trail from. Mm-hmm. So that stands to good reason. That's a good point. But I'll say this about the show. I mean, it's like there's enough of it to pick apart for like that kind of like we make fun of like I said, we make fun of the Acolyte for. The difference is there's enough interesting stuff here that still offsets those things. And I think that's the key point that I can grab onto that maybe some other folks that reviewed the show have not been able to do. They couldn't get past some of those things. Like my woke radar isn't tripped on this show remotely. The aesthetic is very interesting to look at. There's some big questions they can ask. Tinny says the sets are outstanding. I agree. Like we were saying earlier with the ship porn, I think there's a lot of cool stuff there. God only knows, like if we get out of this area and back to the research facility, there's all sorts of cool shit we can do with that. I'd love to see where it goes. I'm definitely down for next week and watching more. And I don't think there's anything here that really can drive you away unless you're overselling, finding like nothing interesting about what could happen at all. And I don't know how you could do that. You know, like I really am interested. Like it's an alien on Earth, and it's not the first time they've been on Earth. I mean, they've been on Earth on AVP Requiem, which was terrible, and got a city nukes. I mean, there's some novelty to it, like because they're in a big city, not like a little town in the middle of nowhere. So there's something there, but we know unequivocally how it can't end. It can't end with a major infestation off world, because how would you not know that? 60 years later, going into Alien, like the whole planet would know. Even if it was just rumor.
Going into Alien.
This is only 2 years before it?
Yeah. First Alien movie was set in 2122.
Oh, really? I thought it was a little bit. Yeah. I thought it was after that for some reason.
No,
but that's what I mean. Like,
today.
Cool. All right. So that makes it even less likely then. You know what I mean? Like, even with the way media works today, rumors still convince people that things happened or didn't happen depending on your bend. So even if there was an infestation in Siam City that Prodigy tried to cover up, people would still talk about it. Like those pictures would still be handed down even as the net got scrubbed. So but they have to be careful how they wrap this up.
You also have to think about what's their communication means. Do they have faster than light communications, or do they have to send probes? And probes take a while because they don't have their true.
He was just now saying that. Yeah, I think the King was just talking about that. The crew of the Sulaco is already, but the Sulaco is the second ship. The Nostromo is the first ship from Alien. So they were already on their way back on their mining rig, and that's when they get diverted to go to the distress signal. So yeah, you're right. Mm-hmm. Like how do they have subspace? Do they not? Like how does that actually work? So yeah, they wouldn't know, I guess. I mean, I guess that's a good balancing act then. No problem, dude. Common mistake. Yeah. I'd make it too if I hadn't seen Alien 747,000 times. You know, that's my most quotable entry in the series for sure. King Z's never seen that one either. Just throw that out there.
Never seen it.
Doesn't know about the Marines. Doesn't know about Gorman. Gorman's an asshole. I don't know if you knew that. Nice guy in person, though. Nice guy in person, from what I've been told. But yeah, so I mean, I'm assuming you're down for more, right?
Yeah,
you think you're pretty.
I mean, we got 6 weeks going forward of this show. I don't see how they could really mess it up unless they start like making where xenomorphs can walk through walls. Or
like spectromorphs, like give them superpowers.
Yeah, or they make these hybrid synths be able to break their neck in like one hit.
Dude, let's talk about these synths for a minute though, because I feel like we didn't deep cut into their capabilities, right? So we know they're super smart. We're told that they're durable and strong. We see that she runs big fast. Maverick says Alien Earth sucks, dude. You should have been here for the last 50 minutes, dude. That would have been awesome. We could have had a little bit more covering fire. Yeah. The synths, right? They don't have the data port thing that we've seen yet that Kirsch has.
Yeah.
Right. We're assuming they don't have onboard weapons like Morrow, or no, weapons, tools, whatever. You know what I mean? Like gadgets. You know, they don't have that.
His Swiss Army hand.
Swiss Army arm. But she somehow sees the Matrix. Like she was hearing something when the dropship came down.
She
like
was hearing which I
believe
believe ties into alien lore, where their radios don't work when xenomorphs are around. They radiate that type of signature around them. So radios, I've never seen radios actually work around xenomorphs. I'm remembering properly. So I'm thinking she's hearing that interference.
Interesting. That could be something nifty there. And then she's got that other Matrix ability where she can lay her hand on the monitor and talk
pull
to other machines at the other end.
Yeah.
No, not even that. Not even the talk about like when she communicates with her brother.
Yeah.
When he's waiting in line to cancel his contract, and they have their little flashback.
Face my
Face my furry.
Your furry what?
Yeah, which was kind of funny. I'll give him that. But so she's got some tricks up her sleeve.
Was that one 3? I think that was Ice Age 3.
Which it's whatever one they superimposed onto the screen because they pulled that editing trick a couple times. So let me ask you about the editing. I thought some of that cutover, layover, fading in, fading out thing did not really work for me. It's not a choice I would have made. I thought it was not. I don't want to say professional because clearly it's a professional made show, but it looked like something I would try on Premiere and not do well. And see, this is what I actually opened the show with this remark. How did that robot girl jump off a mountain and land like a gymnast on the beach without breaking or bending? If you throw an army tank off a mountain, it'll smash him. Exactly. And a lot of people got hung up on that instantly. And here's where I write some headcanon for the show. I don't know what it's made out of. Maybe that new material can defy physics. You know?
Yeah, they have been in space for a while where the T2 was just titanium.
Right.
Tanks are just titanium. They might have found a new metal or new alloy.
And I was going to say, Pape actually stole the words right out of my mouth. I'm inventing a graphic. I didn't have time to get it up today. Please, and leave Maverick up there for me, Oracle, because I got a comment on that. I'm inventing a graphic for next week where we're going to have a variety of sizes of cups of suspension of disbelief. It wasn't ready in time today. And we will be using that as a reference point for how big of a serving you're going to need to be able to take in a show. I think that this show requires at least a medium, if not a large. But if you like the verse, if you like where you're at in this in this movie's continuity, in this franchise's continuity, sometimes a robot jumping off a beach is okay. Or jumping off a cliff above a beach is okay. Now, if I see one of these things body a xenomorph and take no damage, I'll be pissed. Because we already saw what happened to Bishop. We talked about that.
Mm-hmm.
Should not be able to, like King was just saying, you can't outdo something that 200 years more advanced than you, or 2 years, or 20, or whatever it is. You shouldn't be able to outdo that. There's a reason the T-800 couldn't beat up the T-1000. I mean, it was outside of his level. Could not be done. And then Mavericks, the Happy Bastille Day French House Party scene was dumb. Dude, it was only dumb insofar as the fact that A, they didn't feel the crash, and B, they told the armed search and rescue team to piss off and close the door in their face.
Yeah.
That was pretty dumb. Other than that, I don't care about rich people doing 1%er shit in their
rich.
It sounds like something they would do.
Rich people being rich and then feeling entitled.
The robot girl's smart brother is, as Will Smith said in iRobot, you're the smartest dumb person. Yeah, probably. Yeah, I could see that. I could see that for sure. Good call, dude. Good call.
I could see her bringing him back to the lab, and then he becomes a bad hybrid because he doesn't transmit properly.
You think they do that as she'd do that as a last resort to save him from his wounds, kind of Avatar style or something like that?
She said she will save him no matter what.
Yeah, that's not a bad little bit of potential foreshadowing. That could also work as something like a season finale, like a cliffhanger. Mm-hmm. Like they're back in the base. Maybe there's only a few of them left alive, and she throws his ass on the table and hits the machine, and then it cuts to credits. I could see something like that.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of places this show could go. I'm down for more. But this thing, like to Maverick's points, though, there's always an opportunity for a show, even if you like it on a higher level that maybe King Z is liking it over where I'm at right now. He's not above acknowledging that there's a possibility it could go off the rails. We've set the table for how this could go off the rails completely.
How often have we had a show where we started liking it and then all of a sudden it takes this huge left turn and we're like, what are you doing?
Right. I mean, it's absolutely possible.
Or I mean, even in different seasons, you gotta go back to our catalog and go look at the Last of Us season 1 review compared to the season 2 reviews.
Oh, jeez.
You see how their left turn, which actually they followed their video game, so hats off following your video game. But you also alienated half of your crowd of the people who didn't like it,
right.
of the small portion of people who were already watching it. Because as you can see, a lot of normies didn't jump into that show because they didn't know what it was about and they didn't want to take a risk.
I think, and just to not to sidetrack all the way to Last of Us season 2, but I think as a point on your point, I think a lot of people who are normies that didn't know anything about the game were still completely unable to avoid people who did know about the game warning them about that pivotal
Season
plot
2.
point about like what the inciting incident is to that entire game. I think that that's going to put a lot of people off, especially if all you do is watch TV and you don't game or you don't consume the other media. You're like, why would I be invested in this character or this show going forward if like my focal character is gone?
Yeah.
Nobody's invested in Ellie on that show. That's just how it is, you know. But this show, it could go off the rails. I want to see them lean into the corporate stuff. It doesn't need to be boring ass board meetings. It could be some Tywin Lannister level Game of Thrones, like
corporate
dealing,
espionage.
dude, corporate espionage between Yutani, between the prodigy nerd who I hope drops the iPad from his feet on his face. Like that'd be the best thing ever. That would be the best thing ever if that just happened once. They meant there's 3 other corporations. Where do they factor in? Is one of them like like what's the weakest corporation? Are they desperate? Is there a religious faction within one of the corporations, or adjunct to all that? They could read this like a doomsday scenario, like the Blob. I don't know. There's so much cool shit they could do here that doesn't necessarily have to be, as other channels have pointed out, it's one more skinny brunette girl fighting a xenomorph running through hallways that jumps into a fucking airlock and blasts it out into the vacuum. Like there's
no vacuum this time.
Dude, but they'll find a way to get her back up. Oh, we got to save the Earth. We got to get back into space. The countdown begins, and they
with a broke down ship.
Dude, doesn't have to be that ship.
I don't think it's leaving that ship. I don't think it's leaving that ship until the final episode.
Dude, I don't think, and if it does, that's the cliffhanger. Is one escapes,
yeah,
or 2 or several escape or whatever. But then dude, how dangerous is that plot to follow though? Because the more Xenos you put not in the building and not on the ship. Now there's just Xenos in Siam, New York City. Like that's problematic for this show for fucking with timeline shit that I don't want messed up. I mean, on top of we fielded that comment on, I think it was last week or it was in a comment section somewhere where somebody was asking or somebody mentioned nobody cares. The lore of the show is chick fights alien monster in space, and I'm like, dude, they've got like 30 books in this series. There's comic books going back decades. People care about the lore of this. This isn't like an obscure franchise that nobody knows about. And continuity and canon do matter to some people, and I'm not going to apologize for that. You know, so if they do some world-changing event here that makes it so humanity should be at large aware of xenomorphs, it's the same thing as undoing Doctor Who's origins in The Timeless Child. It's just as stupid. I know that reference means nothing to you, King Z, but it's the closest thing in my head of just like undoing everything. You don't like that franchise either.
I didn't like it.
Dude, you and I never discussed Doctor Who on this channel ever. Not once.
We haven't, because I don't know that much about it. Doesn't mean I don't like it. I did like David Tennant as the Doctor. I liked it. Sound like a second grader right there. What's his name? Matt Smith. Matt Smith was a great Doctor.
Tennant and Smith are the good modern ones. Maverick, I mentioned that straight up. I thought that was laughably bad.
Yeah.
But Morrow's performance as the head of security as the cyborg is great. I like Wendy as the one weirdo kid. I like the general idea of these kids being childlike. That way we can experience Alien through their eyes, because that's something we don't get except through Newt in a very limited go in Aliens. But it does. Matt Smith, I'm a Tennant. Tennant got that intensity though. Tennant looked like if he stares at you, he stares through you.
Yeah, you know he has those crazy eyes.
Yes, I mean he's a wacko in real life, but that's the. But Matt Smith in House of the Dragon is Daemon Targaryen, dude. That's a psycho. That's a psycho, dude. I don't know.
I don't want to go. Which he
now I'm gonna cry. Now the Oracle got me crying because I can hear his voice saying that still even in when he came back for the 13th Doctor episode, but at least he was chipper when he said it that time because he knew it's all circular.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about the Chinese guy. We don't think he's coming back. We think that whole crew is done. There was a lot of backstory they loaded into that with him creeping on that poor girl in the stasis chamber. But I think they're all dead. I'm with King Z. I don't think we're going back to anything that happened prior to the crash.
I think they had more planned, but they cut it out due to time, and they wanted to go in a different direction.
Maybe, but I mean, because I thought about it, I'm like, did we even need the parts that we got, or couldn't the show have just started literally with that ship coming in hot and crashing, and then just seeing the response? Did we need anything about getting to know those characters at all? Or could it have literally just started with the scene like Maverick just mentioned, the girl banging on the door, Morrow shutting her out and getting in the evac?
We don't know because we don't know what that setup will pay off.
True, but I'm positing the question. Like I'm positing the big question.
Yeah, we don't know if it's a waste or if we need it or not because we don't know the rest of the story yet.
But I'm saying when we get 6 episodes out from now and we're looking back on this show,
then we can go back, revisit that because by episode 6 we should be headed into the climax episodes of 7 and 8. So we should have all the questions answered of why we're seeing what we're seeing here in episode 1 and 2.
Why did the eyeball attack the robot? It was trying to get inside her. Maybe she's a fembot. Maybe. I don't know. The eyeball was gross, though. I did like watching dude put the bucket on it and then lean on it for dear life and put the microscope on top of it.
And then he's like, don't hold it up. And he's like, okay. And he gets right back on top of it.
That was pretty good. Pape says you needed to set up his exposition to explain the corporate nations in a more natural way. Disagree completely. This one thing we didn't talk about was exposition as world building is exposition up front. I thought that was super lazy. I didn't like the whole we're telling the audience stuff because we identified a cast member, a character that didn't do his social studies. So as you know, Mars and Jupiter are under so-and-so. This one owns the moon. This one owns this. I think this whole show could have started, like I just said, if we find out it was a waste of time, it could have just come in hot. There could have been a control tower being like unidentified Weyland-Yutani ship. You were entering Prodigy airspace. Please land. Blah, 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 blah. Done. That's it. Then there's 2 corporates. You can't be here, and then done. If that was Jonesy the cat, that's some. Well, I mean, it can't be Jones. Maybe Jonesy ancestor. And I'm never gonna goose the Flurkin on this show. That's never gonna happen.
It's before Josie. Remember, Josie.
That's what I'm saying. It could be. What did I say? I said ancestor. Yeah, ancestor, not predecessor.
Ancestor. Yeah.
Ancestor. Yeah. They could have done that. Jonesy was orange. I hate that little shit. That's an obscure reference.
Next time you go do something and you fail, go back and do it how your warrant officer and her cat tells you to.
I mean, which is a good point because if everybody literally just listened to her and kept the door closed, none of this would have happened.
Yep.
It would never franchise. It would have been pretty straightforward.
That's why you always listen to your warrant officer.
It hasn't done me wrong yet. Until we start stuffing too many tags in these things and YouTube shuts us down. We got to be careful with that. Get a warning in the email or something.
Yeah, now that they changed their rules.
Change the TOS. Like, apparently you can't have 30 tags in the video description. We got to watch out for that.
Because, the older one was like 50. You'd have like 50.
It was a lot. Nah, it's like 5 now. That's why I would have tagged it Alien Earth. Because I feel like that's... at least it was trending last night on Twitter. It was trending for a little bit. Not as big as I thought it was going to, and not as long. Like midnight rolled around, and like it fell off the top 20 trending list that I was kind of watching. I was kind of keeping an eye on if there were any accounts to follow. Pape says, I thought the exposition was well done. It was done in a familiar setting. It wasn't older on tears. I'll give him credit for that. It was short, but I'm always bothered by as a writer. I'm just bothered always by the as you know type stuff. There just could have been a way that wasn't talking directly to me, even if it was only for 10 seconds. There's a way to do that. And that's assuming like King was saying, if we go through this whole show and we didn't need to know those people at all, because we literally just see the search and rescue team find their broken bodies. Like that's all they're good for so far is they're all dead. And Morrow, who I like. He's a cold-blooded dude. I do like him. I don't know. What else we got on Alien Earth? Are we got anything
I think we've talked about it for an hour and 4 minutes. I think we can move on.
I think we should move on. I think we should talk about weapons for a little bit before we go. Just
weapons box office. But my question to you is, are you excited for October? Because I know you played the demo.
Of course, I played the demo. Of course, I played the
Or
demo.
what? Beta weekend. Sorry, it was a beta weekend.
If they call it a beta, and it's honestly, it's kind of, it's just play testing. Dude, the Battlefield 6 demo was pretty sick. It was pretty good. It's open back again this week. The 17th through the 19th, I think, is another open weekend. You don't have to buy. You don't have to pre-order.
I thought you had to be chosen for this one, though.
Nope. Open.
No?
Completely open. Yep. Completely open. This past one, you could have got in a little early had you had Twitch drops enabled or something and were watching long enough. They just sent you a code. That's how I got in. The next one's completely open. They're adding a mode. They're bringing back Rush for you guys that have played Battlefield. That's a pretty cool mode. It's always been one of my favorites since BF4. I think they're bringing in a new map too, but I think it's just a re-release of an old school, like a remaster.
They said that this one was heavily influenced by Bad Company.
Yes, you can feel it in the gameplay. You can absolutely feel it in the gameplay. It's played at a much slower pace than Call of Duty. If you guys play those kind of games, it feels like classic Battlefield. It's like it completely rewrote the last movie that bombed, like the last game that bombed, 2042. This is much better. The classes are back. There's no specialist heroes with specialized gadgets. It's like it's class based. It's got all that stuff going for it. It was a lot of fun. It was infantry focused heavily, so I hope some of the other maps are bigger. I'd really like to get into some vehicling. I like to tank every now and again.
And for
like to fly.
Cheap people like me who don't buy games anymore, they do have a free Warzone mode that I'm kind of excited to try out. I'm hoping
Warzone's got something new.
No, Battlefield has a Warzone.
Oh, you mean a battle royale? Yeah,
battle royale mode.
It's Firestorm. It's coming back. It's not going to be part of beta. It's still being worked on. It probably won't even be ready at launch, from what I'm hearing.
They say October 10th. They said October 10th is release.
Yeah. Oh, cool. Very cool.
Because I saw a trailer for it, and they're flying through LA because it's going to be set in LA, which I'm getting vibes of Battlefield LA, which I really like.
Yeah, Battle LA. We could do that. We can do Battle LA anytime you want.
Yeah,
I like Aaron Eckhart in that. It was fun.
Yeah, Alan Eckhart had a great role in that one. Great gunny. But I was getting that vibes from it. And the one thing I also liked about it is I've been playing Warzone with my brother and my normal party. We'll just call him. No, I'm not trying to do that to him again. But
easy.
My normal party out there, and it got really cartoony. It's like it's going the way of Fortnite. And I stopped playing Fortnite because Fortnite was Fortnite. It was all cartoony. And like the reason I like playing Battlefield, it was like more army-ish.
I'll go back to that one because I'll answer. Because he got the drop on them and could have shot them both in the back of the head easily. That's how. That's why. Looper Army train guys. One got pissed. That's why. Because could have shot them right in the base of the neck and they both would have died. We've been waiting since 86 for Xenos to come to Earth, and twice on Earth they suck. AVP recommendation on Earth. Dude, I don't know if the Xenos did work in this show. 100%. They 100% did. That Xeno tore up like 7 of those dudes in like a heartbeat. Tore up all them rich dudes in a heartbeat. Like, I don't know what else you want. And the gore effects were all there. We had decided he is a
cyborg.
Oh, is that what he said? I don't remember what he said.
Because he had the hard connection, so it might be a synth. But he had the hard connection.
He's something that isn't a hybrid. I guess I'm really not sure on the cyborg synth distinction yet. But you're saying about COD just being not what you wanted anymore.
Yeah, it's getting too much commercialized, where you have to buy the skins and stuff like that, pay to win type. I don't know. And they refuse to do their anti-cheat. Because when you get sniped while you're still in the freaking bird before you even jump the first time, there's something wrong with their game.
Yeah, they overextended on the collabs to become Fortnite, and that's how you have stupid shit like American Dad, Beavis and Butthead, Nicki Minaj running around your game. I get, dude, and it's not to say Battlefield is like a mill sim. You're not taking like limb damage and needing to like staunch bleeding, or it's not supposed to be that. But I just don't need to see the Ninja Turtles in a game where I'm trying to do like urban combat. It's weird. It's not the vibe I want. And the fact that Battlefield 6 beta blew the doors off of Call of Duty's last release on Steam by a magnitude of like 60,000 concurrent players tells me everything I need to know. The Battlefield has listened to all the criticisms COD got, and it's like, at least for launch, Kingsley is Palos. He did all right in DMZ though. I don't know how he is in the Warzone, but he was reliable in DMZ. We played a couple times.
I'm the designated carry. Like they have to carry me.
They have to carry you out.
Yeah, I do
guys, I'm down again.
I don't even pretend that I'm good. So,
y'all got any plates? So Cyborg is human with robotic parts. Synth is AI completely, I'm guessing, and hybrid is human soul if they have it still, and a robotic body. I would have said human consciousness because I'd like to see them draw the distinction between the two. That's a sticking point for me. I just kind of want to see that. But Cyborg is human with so augmented. Got it. They haven't used that term, Maverick. I don't remember Bishop or anybody else ever doing Android either. They're always talking about I don't like artificial. I prefer artificial person. He's the company's synthetic. Maybe they did call him Android and Aliens. Let me go back and watch. That's possible. I usually let King Z take my snipers. I'm garbage with it. I'd rather just outflank and run and gun these fools anyway. But I had a blast with Battlefield 6. I'll be playing more of that this week, and when it comes out on launch, it's completely made me not want to buy, even for $10, that Delta Force game that's now finally on console this year that was supposed to be it's a Battlefield clone, essentially. Like, I'm no longer even interested in spending bucks on that, on the stopgap between now and then.
I like the idea of a 4 to 6 man team conducting missions against other 4 to 6 man teams, having a big map. I like that idea. I like where you can't somehow jump, pull your sniper rifle, look down the scope, and hit a headshot while in the air. Yeah, that doesn't happen. That's not.
There's some buffoonery in a video game because mobility and keeping momentum while jumping is a thing. I didn't run into anybody jump shotting me with a shotgun in this game all weekend. Well, the shotguns are OP as fuck and are going to get nerfed. Don't get me wrong, but it's very much like you get a fairly large penalty to accuracy while moving and shooting. They really want you to set your feet, get on a corner, get on a mantle, and fire over. They want you to slow down.
Yeah,
reload times are legit. I'm saying it's not a mill sim, but yeah, exactly like that. So it has its fun. It had some fun bits. So you should check it out. Get the beta this weekend. We'll run some. It's crossplay. You'd absolutely run some.
All right. So now
Maverick had a Terminator one. Hold on. I saw a Terminator question. We got to do. Where's the Terminator? Terminator. I'm a cybernetic organism. Limitation on skeleton. John, this is intent. Well, yeah. T2 is probably a top 5 banger movie of all time. He obviously wasn't offended by the lingo. Clearly, COD store's never broken. You ever notice that? He likes big maps because he lives longer before he donates his items. This is savage. I'm gonna need to get that membership button.
If you can't tell,
to insult them.
This is one of my party members. And
yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm sure he's good for a rescue hero moment every now and then.
I'm a good medic every now and then while I'm alive.
Exactly. Throw a smoke, shoot the wrong guy, res the wrong guy,
hit the wrong button, drop your plate box too early. Yeah, all those things.
Done that. Dude, I would need to use everybody in the chat's hands to count on the number of times that I've thrown a grenade and dunked it off the side of a window, not into the room I'm trying to throw it into. I'm perfect at that. It's like fucking Kobe, but for like missing. It's pretty good.
All right.
I'm pretty good at
well, we're getting way over time, so it's time.
I want to talk. We got to talk about weapons though.
We gotta get weapons out of the way. If you haven't seen, we do have a review up. Go ahead and go check that out.
We should link that in the description. That's a great idea.
Yeah, that's a great idea. When we set up the stream and everything.
I don't know how to do that. You have to fall on that grenade for me. But anyway, weapons.
Zach Creeder's new installment, the director of Barbarian, which they hit that one pretty hard in the advertisement up. And I still haven't seen Barbarian. I will see it before August 31st because that's when it leaves Netflix. So I want to give it a look.
Yep.
But yeah, it was a fun movie that came out this weekend.
Dude, I'm still shocked that I don't like that movie as much as I wanted to. I'm still not over the shock, but you know what shock I'm not over?
That. I think a lot of people went there with overhyped expectations, and it just didn't meet those expectations.
Dude, I don't know if I was overhyped or if I would if it literally just if we just passed each other like ships in the night of whether or not I liked it. Because again, I came away from it not saying that it was bad, except for the ending. I think that's just totally wrong. But the whole thing was a movie I should like on paper, but I get them in the minority. The Rotten Tomatoes is holding steady at 85% audiences and critics, verified on both sides. It's a solid flick. I was looking at its numbers, it outpassed both Superman and Fantastic Four its opening weekend. I'm pretty sure globally on like less screens.
43 million on 3,202 screens.
Yeah. That's like 800 to 1,000 fewer screens than those movies get, and nowhere put Weapons in IMAX or premium format. Like, it's just not the kind of movie that I think ever gets that.
It is on IMAX. It's on.
Was
IMAX
it?
here? Yeah.
Oh, dude, up here, nowhere. And I checked around a couple of different places. I was like, I'm gonna go by myself, so I'm saving on a ticket. My kid can't come anyway. He's way too young for that kind of thing. But up here it wasn't, not that I'm aware of anyway. Yeah. But it's like it's cleaning up, and the word of mouth is so effing strong that it's already on its way to making bank. It's going to make significant bank because it's going to clean this weekend. It's absolutely going to broom what's left of Superman leaving the box office.
Yeah, nothing really going to be out this weekend either. So
no, that's what I'm saying, dude. It's Weapons or Bust this weekend for like adult programming, like at the theater. Like Superman's coming to digital. It's coming to premium video on demand soon. Fantastic Four is taking like a 65% minimum drop weekend to week. The 3 weeks it's been out. What else are you going to see if you're grown? You've probably seen one of those, or Jurassic Park, still making money. But like you've probably seen those movies of those you're going to see, and you're going to be looking for the next thing. It's probably going to be this movie. Yeah. And the buzz is everywhere online that I've seen this week.
What I think, the reason why you're having those feelings, why some people are having those feelings, is the M. Night, Shyamalan experience. Everyone loved The Sixth Sense. So when Signs came out, which was, I think that was the next one with Signs, his next
Unbreakable might have been in there first. But no, Signs was close to it.
Unbreakable was a little bit later.
Was it?
Yeah.
I have to go back and look.
Yeah. But I think
Signs, well, you're talking about Signs. I was thinking Village. Village is later. You're right.
Yeah,
it was
Village is the next
and
one.
Then Unbreakable.
Yep. It goes Signs, Village, Unbreakable in that order. Mm-hmm. And like everyone was so disappointed because The Sixth Sense had them way up here, and everyone came in with that type of expectations. And then when you bring in a B performance, it's going to be a little bit different.
It feels like a D.
Even though the actors were a little bit. Yeah. I mean, Bruce Willis is Bruce Willis, but you had a kid. Kids are hard, even though that kid killed it.
Haley Joel.
But in this, and then you have like Joaquin Phillips and
Phoenix.
Phoenix,
as the brother. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And Mel was in there. Dude, I don't think that was it for me, though. I think the problem I had with Weapons, because I've had some time to think it over, and Oracle told us it was Unbreakable, Signs, then The Village.
Then The Village. Okay.
I had a feeling, because remember, there's like 3 movies in that Unbreakable deal now. Glass and Shattered, and there's like it's a trilogy unto itself.
It was Unbreakable, Split, and then
Split.
Glass.
Thank you, Split. And I haven't seen either of those two, and I've heard decent things about both.
Dude, I'm surprised Roy didn't get nominated.
James McAvoy, you mean?
James, James.
Yep, he was good shit.
They did the golfer. I keep doing the golfer.
Yep. My boy Rory should have been nominated. My problem with Weapons is that because I had a long chat driving home from like a cheer practice or something. I picked up my stepdaughter, and she was listening to me yell at a podcast of somebody that liked the movie. Like, this is that stupid mother. It's wrong because of this. The problem I have with it is that when I'm told it's a horror comedy up front, I'm down because I like dark comedies like that. I love things like Shaun of the Dead. I love Hot Fuzz. I like it World's End or whatever, right? And my problem with Weapons is that all the media and marketing surrounding it makes it look like it's not that. There's not a jokey tone anywhere in the marketing at all. You're made to think it's something very sinister, both in adjective and also similar movie. It's got a Paranormal Activity vibe. What is the mystery? There's a thriller. Why are all these fucking kids gone? So then when they make the creative decisions that they do, it rug pulls me. Like things that aren't supposed to be funny that I fueled up into thinking are already serious. Like when those hit, they don't make me laugh. They make other people laugh. Make 85% of people laugh, apparently. But it didn't work that way for me. And that's why I came down on it the way I came down on it. Because I was considering going back. I said, hey, my stepdaughter hadn't seen it. I said, do you want to go see this? She goes, after hearing you yell about it for 20 minutes, no. I was going, sorry, we shouldn't have done that. But yeah, it's when you get led down one road and you feel like you're rug pulled. And not even that they did something insidious, no pun intended, but I feel like they fainted left and then slapped me with the comedy right, and it just didn't work. And if it had been tonally more like a Shaun of the Dead from the beginning, I would have been okay. CR Hockey, it looks scary. My wife said it wasn't good in San Diego. There you go. And the first half was I think the King and I are in agreement. The first half was plenty scary.
Yeah.
Tense.
Tense.
Foreboding.
I wouldn't say scary. I would say foreboding and tense. I wouldn't say scary.
Foreboding and tense. It wasn't scary. They had that stupid fake jump, and I already ripped on the jump scare with Gladys on the ceiling thing in the middle of Julia's dream.
Yeah, Julia's dream.
Whatever. Julia Garner's the actress. Whatever. Justine's dream.
Yeah,
is the character's name.
Yeah, her dream, and then Josh Brolin's character's dream.
And that's another example. Like, a lot of people thought that was cathartically funny how he woke up and had the expression like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah,
it didn't for me, like, at all. But again, I realize I'm in the minority, and like the movie itself at least has a creative idea. It's got an interesting plot. The mystery when they solve it for you halfway through, I didn't feel like I was cheated. I'm like, I kind of knew there was some witchcraftery going on because we get the haircut scene, which was, I think, probably both of our favorite scenes. In
probably the
horror.
Creepiest out of all of it.
Oh yeah, dude, we're 100% in sync on that. Because that was a badass scene. I'll give him that. But like, we couldn't be more split on the end or anything about the Gladys other than props to her for playing two very different characters at once.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's you guys. We should probably put the description.
And like the article that I was reading earlier today is that this is Warner Brothers' third hit in a row. Yeah. For the first time in studio history that they've had 3 hits in a row with Weapons that hit over 43 million. You had
Sinners.
Then they had 4 really, because you had Weapons, you had Sinners, you had F1 that had
that's right.
Weekend, and then they had Superman.
Dude, and F1 is back. Like, it's back in premium formats up here this weekend, I think.
Yeah, it still made 2 million this last weekend with its 7th weekend out.
I mean, dude, on the Superman though, are we considering that a hit? Like, do we know this conclusively? Because it's coming out of box offices really. Like, what's its global? You got the numbers up. What's its global take?
I got it right here.
I mean, I'll call it a success, but I'm not calling it the atomic bomb of positive starts for the franchise they wanted.
Half a B.
Not enough. It cost them $250 to $3 million to make. No marketing taken into account. So they might scrape over that line. Not a hit, but well received. Most people that's seen it, I think, had good things to say about it. I don't think it was all that divisive. I think it leaned more into the favorable than the not favorable.
225.
But I don't think 225 is what?
The budget.
The production budget? Yeah.
Yep.
Then it's on its way, or it might be there. It's not Aquaman made $1 billion too. Is that really the world you want to live in, where Aquaman made $1 billion too and your new Superman movie didn't? That kind of sucks.
Different time we live in too.
I know, but adjusted for inflation, you didn't even outscore Man of Steel. That hurts. The Snyder Bros are laughing all the way to the bank on that one. But yeah, dude, it's at least 3 in a row, like you said. And the best part of that is, if you're not talking about Superman, it's 3 movies that aren't superhero flicks. It's F1, horror Sinners, horror Weapons, which is awesome.
Which is, I think, zombies, vampires, and racing.
That's what I'm saying. So I mean, it's almost like it's a throwback to 15 years ago of other movies people are going to see, other stuff that isn't capes that people are going to see that will enjoy. I put Maverick up there because I was actually I meant to send this to you earlier. Yeah. Which movie will make more in 26? Supergirl versus Spider-Man Brand New Day. Spider-Man won't have the cameos this time.
Spider-Man Brand New Day.
Hands down.
Hands down.
Hands down. Dude,
I don't even have to think on that one.
Yeah. You could take the best arc ever written for Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow in print.
Which is one of her greatest arcs.
Which is one of her best arcs from what I've been hearing, and I have put an order in to get it. Spider-Man is the most globally recognized character on the planet.
Yep.
More than Mickey Mouse, more than Superman, more than Batman. It's no shot that Supergirl in any permutation outgrosses Spider-Man globally.
No,
they can make the worst Spider-Man movie possible is still going to make $700 million.
Yeah, I think the Spider-Man movie isn't as important as the Supergirl to set up the rest of the DC stories that are going forward, because I think there's going to be a lot more story forward of gods versus monsters through the Supergirl story set up. That's why we're seeing Lobo in it, and we're seeing some other people in it. Is that it's trying to build? It's that second stepping stone. It's Superman established. This is the stepping stone, and then we get into the new Batman. We get into the Lantern series. We get into the Batman starts filming next spring. So
speaking of the Lantern series, the kid from Weapons is in the Lantern series. I don't know if you know that. He's cast in that show somewhere.
Alex?
Yep.
Alex kid?
He's got a role in that show somewhere. Just thought I'd throw that in there.
That poor kid got
Maverick
tortured
says
in
Spider.
Weapons.
The ending though, he kept his wits. I was impressed. Spider-Man prints money like Jurassic movies. Dude, fact. Which is why in 2 years you'll get another Jurassic World to wrap that up before they go on hiatus, and they'll make another 800 million. And then I saw another one here from Maverick that was a good what if. Straight up, who wins Spider-Man versus Barbie? It's a Barbie and Oppenheimer situation. It's counter programming. It's you go on the date movie with the wife, with the girlfriend, you see Barbie. She goes with her girlfriends and sees Barbie. It makes a bill. Or you take your kids, your sons, you go with your friends from your dorm or whatever. You see Spider-Man, it also makes a bill. I think it's time. It has both of those are equal brands with minimal damage to them or none.
Or
and
you
they
have
just sell.
really cool wife like I do, and you go to date night to Spider-Man. Which
you can and should do. Fact. But then you have to see Barbie, which is sad because it's an interesting experiment of a movie, but it proves the not feminist point more than it proved the feminist point, which was kind of funny because I saw it. But yeah, no, I think people were saying, and I saw you mentioned that it's not going to have the cameos. I don't think it's going to matter. I think that it's still Spider-Man, and those movies still do well, no matter what. I mean, No Way Home is a banger hit because it did the cameo thing well. It earned its money. I think Tom Holland is still widely bankable in that role. People like him.
I think this is his last iteration other than Doomsday as Spider-Man.
Right.
Like he's being recast after this one.
And that might even creep into the marketing, I think, as we get into these two movies where he's going to hang up the suit, and move on to other things. That might be part of it. Somebody was asking, the girl from Alien Earth's dad is the Green Lantern. No, I think that the kid from Weapons, the little kid who wasn't the kid who's responsible for the kids disappearing is in the Lantern series. I don't think the girl from Alien Earth's dad is a Green Lantern. The girl from Alien Earth's dad was Noah Hawley. He cameoed in on himself to play the guitar and be the dad. I don't think he's going to be the Green Lantern. I think you're thinking maybe Nathan Fillion was a Lantern in the Superman movie.
But he was Guy Gardner. The
Lantern
series is going to be Hal
John
Jordan
Stewart
and John Stewart.
Yeah, which is going to be cool. I'm down for that.
Which I think this is a passing. I think it's a buddy cop and a passing of the torch. I think this is when Hal retires.
It could, but that'd be great.
He gets the white ring.
Or you keep him on as a mentor within the Corps on Oa, and then it's John's show, referring back, taking cases, having some friction, good cop back. I could see all of that. That'd be great. I'm down for that as it comes through. But as for Supergirl
being head detective,
hell yeah, and how they butt heads, but at the end of the day, they got each other's back. I'm trying to do that in the South Park voice when they do fake movie trailers on South Park. Awesome. You send it to winterwolf.com. No. You send it to winterwolfdirect.com. That's how.
Yeah, we don't have super chats enabled yet. We're still setting all that up. We are still planning out how we're going to do our memberships, our super chats, and everything like that. I believe those should be hot next episode.
It should be all set there. Maybe since we have a couple people in the chat, why don't we just ask the assembled what they think, guys? We were thinking of starting with 2 levels to see what's good, like a little $1.99 action at the lowest level, and a $9.99 option that may have a merch giveaway, like a hat or a T-shirt with some logo edge down the stretch. But we're definitely, the lower level will be $1.99. We're not trying to bilk anybody for money with the 500 sub channel. They'll just be kind of douchey.
Yeah, so
we get enough douchey already. We're good.
Yeah, starting with 2 to begin with, and then moving on later as we grow and get bigger, and some people might want to have more access. So we'll work it all out as we go.
This is a question for you, King.
Kyle Chandler, the Green Lantern.
I'm not a Lantern guy. I just know the 2 big ones, the 3 big ones.
Kyle Chandler, I think, is the actor's name.
Oh,
and
sorry.
I don't know. I don't know their actual names. I didn't look that up.
We'll do a little bit more research on the Green Lantern series coming up then.
I've seen the guy before, and I liked both the actors that they've cast. So both for Hal and for Jordan. Or no, Hal Jordan and John Stewart.
Cool. We'll take a peek at that. I don't know, man. We went way over time, keeping everybody here and gabbing about things. I think we should probably let people get to bed at a respectable hour if you're on the East Coast. There we go. Oracle says Kyle Chandler plays Hal Jordan.
Okay.
There you go. So there you go. So, all right, boys, I'm going to let King Z talk us out of here and say thanks, encouraging all the new folks. Thank you for popping in, saying hi, commenting, driving the chat. We appreciate it. It makes things easy. And yeah, King, whatever else you got left, do what you do.
All right. So let's hit my music.